Hey guys, it is Brido here, and welcome to our FIFA 13 career mode that we'll be doing for this channel. This is one of the two career modes that I'll be doing. The other one's going to be for a League 2 team. But for this one though, we're going to be playing as Liverpool, and this episode is essentially just an introduction to the team, get you guys acquainted with the players that we're going to be working with, and also get your feedback on what we should do with this club. Obviously, and they're in a position that they can be a success, a good team, but they do need work in specific areas that we can work together to figure out where we need to improve this team and which players we should target. So we're going to go over the rosters essentially. You guys can see the settings there as we go through downloading the latest updates, and we can see who will be good fits and who will not. You guys can leave comments below regarding who you'd like to see in the team, and also possible transfer targets that we can shoot for as well. So yeah, those are lots of things that we can work on in this episode, but essentially this is just an intro to the team and an intro to the series, as we're going to be posting plenty of these videos and hopefully go plenty of seasons into this career mode along with the other ones I'll be doing on this channel. So as you can see here, we're just setting up the nationality and the name for us. So we're Canadian. We're going with Canada. There's no Canadian team in this game, which is unfortunate, but maybe we'll get a job somewhere else in the CONCACAF. Here also is kind of interesting is we have outfits now because you can be on the touchline. I wasn't sure what to do. It really was a dilemma for me. I kind of wanted to go tracksuit, be a little greasy, but I decided not. I was going to just go with the shirt and tie, simple. My players will respect me if I'm wearing a shirt and tie. Nothing too fancy. I'm not all uptight like Andre Villas-Boas. I'm not, Tony Pulis on the sideline either. I'm just the guy in the middle, the guy that's going to get the job done in Liverpool, hopefully. So there's the intro to it. Something I actually realized that was kind of surprising is that this is actually the best team I've ever taken over in a FIFA manager mode yet. In past ones I've done Sheffield Wednesday, Leicester City are the other two. I think there's the other one. I'm trying to remember the other one as well. I did another championship team in FIFA 11. But this is the first team I'm actually taking that's like a legitimate great team in Liverpool. Obviously, again, they're not as great as they once were, but still, I mean, they're a great team overall. And you can see in the expectations for this year that there's not a lot of slack being given to us for sure. I was hoping maybe EuroLeague spot would be a good spot to start getting to the Europa League. That would be a good place to go, and then maybe semifinals or whatever. But we got to reach the final and get in the Champions League. So we're jumping into the fire with this one, guys. We're gonna have to work hard in our first season to really impress the bosses and keep this job, as it's going to be a challenge to do so. Let's get into our actual squad roster though, so you guys can see who we're going to be working with for this series. Pretty much the basics here, as you can see, most of the guys you probably know already. Luis Suarez is the best player on the team. There's the only striker that we technically have right now, Fabio Borini. There's Raheem Sterling as well, another guy that's been getting a lot of press as well. Joe Allen just above. And then Steven Gerrard is another guy that's obviously a great player, and he's getting up in there in his age, but he's still going to be an impact player for us. Pretty good back end as well, minus the fact that we don't have a lot of extra players. You don't have a lot of depth, where Skirtle is down right now. If Skirtle and Egger are good to go, then that's going to be two really big, good players to have as center back. And then Kelly seems like a serviceable right back as well, with Johnson on the left back. And we go down here, we have Jose Enrique as well. And Nuri Sahin is another guy that's going to be on loan from Real Madrid that we can use as a good player for the team. Asadi is there as well. Henderson and Downing, two guys that obviously are a little bit out of luck with their play last season, but we can maybe elevate their game back up to a point that they could be back in the roster. There's Lucas Leiva, another great guy as well, that I really want to impact or have an impact in the team, because he's definitely an impact player to have. And then we're kind of getting into our younger players here. We actually have some good talent to work with, and they're not too far off as well. Most of them are around 70 overall, which is a good place to be, because then we can kind of put them into the League Cup games, and we won't be just slammed. We'll be able to handle it a little bit. So there's pretty much the setup of what we're going to be working with here. After this, I move on to essentially what we might want to move out the door. But this is really where you guys come in, because I want to get your input regarding who you'd like to see in the team and who you'd like to see on the way out. There's guys like Carroll, Spearing, and one other player that are on loan right now as is. But we want to maybe move guys like Carragher out the door, because I'm not going to use a guy that has like 40 pace as a center back. That's just asking to be scored on essentially. we can't get much for him, but at least we can get his wage bill off. Get his wage off the wage bill. Another guy that I was thinking as well about getting rid of was Joe Cole as well, was another guy. He has a little bit more value to him, and he's got a bigger wage bill on him. He's still actually a relatively good player, but I just kind of see him as a guy that probably, doesn't, he's a good player and could work somewhere else for another team, but maybe a guy that we just let move on and get some money from as well. And then there's Pepe Reina as well. That's another guy that, he's a good goaltender, and he's a good goaltender in this game, but his start to the season in real life has been a little bit shaky, and I wouldn't, rule out the idea of going for another goaltender. Maybe we hold on to Reina and go for someone maybe in a couple of years or so. But as you can see, we do have a lot of strikers, but that's something that we really need to address, is another striker to go with Barini. We don't want to rely on Barini solely to be our top striker there. We're going to have to roll with one striker for the time being. We have great midfielders, though. We have Sahin, a couple guys coming up as well, like Shelby and Spearing. But then we also have guys like Lucas Leiva that are really good players, as is already right to go. Then we got 3 right backs right here. We have Flanagan, who's a young guy that can come into his own. Kelly is a guy that is another player that is good right now, and he's only 22. Moving on to the center backs, like I said, we're a little bit undermanned in that position because Carragher is a guy that we're probably going to get rid of. Cotes is a guy that is good, but he's only 72 overall as is right now. So there's a kind of fit for it, but I want you guys to post in the comments who you'd like to see stay and who you'd like to see go, so we can kind of work from there and see how we move about our business from that point forward. To finish off this video, though, I took a quick look at the loans, and Isaac Cuenca is a guy that we could actually pick up if we wanted to. I obviously have to check to see for sure. I just looked at these guys, and he's someone that is 75 overall as is. He's a right winger. We can use him in a 4-3-3 possibly, because I don't actually think we have a legitimate right winger right now. We've got Raheem Sterling playing that role, but he's actually a natural left winger. So that's it for this video, though, guys. Let me know if you agree with Carragher and Cole being guys sending out. Also, leave a comment if you got a guy that we should target in this transfer window. I'll have another video up tomorrow. I'll take all your comments into account, and we'll get this series moving ahead. Thanks, guys, for watching.